Welcome back to my channel to another video of Clinical Dentistry Hub. I hope all of you are doing good. So with this note, who are new to my channel, please click subscribe so that you don't miss out any important video of my channel. And those who have already subscribed, a very big thank you to you all for being my constant viewer in my YouTube channel. So going on with this, I am back again with yet another interesting topic in the field of endodontics, that is the regenerative endodontic therapy. So today we are going to discuss about what basically a regenerative endodontic therapy is, what is the treatment procedure for this regenerative endodontic therapy, in which cases you have to do this, what will be the case selection, what are its indication, its disadvantage, its advantage and procedures. All of this thing will be covered in today's video, so please watch the video till the end so that you don't miss out any important content of my video. My name is Dr. Shadisa Ravi and you are watching Clinical Dentistry Hub. So without wasting any time, let's just begin today's video. When it comes to the definition of regenerative endodontics, it has been defined as a biologically based procedure which aimed at the removal of the damaged structure such as the dentine, root structure, cementum. That means any procedure which is designed to replace the damaged structure of a tooth. These damaged structure may involve the part of cementum, dentine or the root part or the root structure also. So this basically defines what a regenerative endodontic is. So going on with the terms and conditions, when it was basically the Nygaard and Osby in 1961, they did the first case of regenerative endodontic at that time in 1961. Basically this regenerative endodontic, though it is a modern concept, but it was initiated in the year 1961. So coming on to the goal of these regenerative endodontic. So basically there are three goals of regenerative endodontic. That is the primary goal, secondary goal and the tertiary goal. Basically the primary goal is based on the bony healing. There should be no sign and symptom after the regenerative endodontic has been done, and there should be the bony healing at that time. Whereas the second endodontic therapy goal here means that there should be the increased thickness of the root wall and the root length should also increase. And the tertiary goal here should means that the tooth should respond to the pulp vitality. There should be a response of a pulp vitality over there. So all these things comes under regenerative endodontic. So long ago in the 1961, which was first case, it was depicted in that year in 1961, but researches are still going on. There is no such one perfect procedure which should be followed, but I am going to tell you the one procedure which is most commonly followed for these regenerative endodontic. Let us see that in which cases you have to do this regenerative endodontic. Whenever you see that there is a case of an immature root apex, in that cases you have to do. Whether you see that there is a case of a non-vital tooth, in that the basic indication for these regenerative endodontic therapy. The first indication says that whenever you have a case, you have a tooth with a necrotic pulp or you have a tooth with an immature apex, in that cases you have to go for regenerative endodontic. Plus you have to keep in mind that whether the tooth in future need not have to undergo the post and core treatment. In that cases you can go on with the regenerative endodontic. Plus you have to also see the patient compliance with the treatment, as it has a long-term follow-up period. It requires time to generate and heal the tissue over there, so that patient compliance is must in this treatment planning. And one more thing you have to keep in mind, that patient should not be allergic to any kind of medication which is used in this regenerative endodontic cases. So let's now come to the procedure of regenerative endodontic. So basically at first appointment what you will do, and at second appointment what you will do. So at the first appointment you have to give local anesthesia, as well as you have to do the rubber dam isolation, which is must. And after that you have to do the access opening. After you have done access opening, you have to irrigate with 20 ml of 1.5% sodium hypochlorite for 5 minutes. Plus you have to do the irrigation with the normal saline of approx 20 ml per canal. Per canal you have to irrigate, likewise you are doing for the molar tooth. That's why the writer over has written that per canal. Then you have to dry the canal with a paper point. After you have dried the canal with the paper point, you have to place an intracanal medicament. Now at this point the twist of the regenerative endodontic comes that you have to place an intracanal medicament. So either you can place calcium hydroxide or you can place triple antibiotic paste. The choice is yours, but I must advise everyone to go with triple antibiotic paste, as I have already discussed about what basically a triple antibiotic paste is, how you can make this triple antibiotic paste in your clinic. Those who haven't seen this video yet, I will mention the link in my description. You can click there and directly go to the triple antibiotic paste video. And then after you have placed this triple antibiotic paste over here, and then you have to seal the canal with 3 to 4 mm of Cavit. Cavit is a temporary restorative material that you do in the intra-appointment between of your root canal treatment. Or either you can go with interim restorative material such as zinc phosphate also, and then with the zinc oxide, eugenol, and then we have GIC also. So either of these can be used. What you have to do? You have to do access opening, irrigate the canal, dry the canal, place intracanal medicament. If you are placing triple antibiotic paste, then you have to temporarily seal the canal. The seal material over here should be of approx 3 to 4 mm. So after you have sealed the canal, then you have to recall the patient after 1 to 4 weeks. That means it will go for the second appointment procedure. So now in the second appointment, what you have to check? You have to check the response of the patient. Like in the first appointment, patient came to you with the tenderness over there. Now you have to check whether patient have any sign of symptom of the previous treatment done in that cases or not. That means you have to check if sign and symptom is persisting over there or not. If sign and symptom is persisting over there, what you have to do? You have to do the additional treatment with the antimicrobial. If it is not responding with this, then it might be there that you have to change your antimicrobial, which is used in the triple antibiotic paste, that is ceprofloxacin, metronidazole or minocycline. Most of the authors have suggested that minocycline, as it causes staining over the tooth, better is to use cefaclor over there, and some of them have suggested to use double antibiotic paste also. So if this is the condition, then this has to be done. Whereas if you assess the patient and you note that there is no sign and symptom over there, just give the LA, put rubber dam over there, irrigate 20 ml of EDTA, and then you have to dry the canal with a paper point. When you have dried the canal with a paper point, what you have to do? You just have to take a similar K file over here. You have to push your K file beyond the apex so as to ensure artificial bleeding or intentional bleeding at the periapical area. So when the bleeding will occur, this bleeding will fill the canal of the tooth. So you have to stop the bleeding. When you have to stop, so at least 3 to 4 mm area should be there, so you can do the restoration over there. At this point, you have to stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding, place a cotton pallet. As the bleeding stops, remove the cotton pallet. Then you have to place a resorbable material over here. There are other material also, like Colagate material is also used. A matrix also you can place it over here, which get resorbed with time. That you have to place. Place a resorbable matrix over here. So after you have placed a matrix over here, then you have to place white MTA over here. Why I am saying white MTA? Because there are two types of MTA which is available in the market, that is the white MTA and the grey MTA. So when you see the grey MTA, this grey MTA basically causes discoloration of a tooth. So better is to go with white MTA. as you are doing it in the anterior tooth, or you can use calcium hydroxide as a capping material. So like you have placed MTA over here, and above this MTA you have to place a restorative material. Restorative material over here. Now after you have done this procedure, one thing you have to keep in mind, what is the follow-up of these cases. You have to recall the patient after 6 months and have to see that whether the periapical radiolucency which is over here has been reduced or not. If this has been, basically when you take a radiograph to see the reduction of a periapical radiolucency, one thing is to be kept in mind that the radiographic evidence of any such radiolucency, when there is the case of a bone resorption, it is evident only after 6 months on the radiograph. Some take the follow-up for about 18 to 24 months also. You have to keep on checking whether the apex has formed over here or not. You all might be thinking that this procedure is same as done with the case of an apexogenesis, but some author has also suggested that these apexogenesis and maturogenesis is one or the same time, but some says that it is the two different terms. So this basically concept of regenerative endodontic, you see it as a whole, is termed as revascularization also, but collectively now this revascularization terms is collectively now called as regenerative endodontic therapy. So what will be the advantages and disadvantage of this treatment? One advantage of this treatment is that you do not have to go and wait for the obturation. Over here the seal bio concept will work over here. Seal bio concept I have told in the video of triple antibiotic paste. You can just, I'll mention the link, just go there and watch the video over there. Plus as I've already told you that we have to get a root canal wall thickness. There will be the formation of dentine and hard tissue. Strength of the tooth will increase. When you do the case with calcium hydroxide and you place calcium hydroxide for a long duration of a time, it weakens the strength of a tooth. There is a chance for a tooth to go for the internal resorption. So this all can be avoided over here. Plus there are few disadvantages also, that if you are using a triple antibiotic paste, it may cause discoloration over here. There is one study which quoted that before placement of these triple antibiotic paste, they placed bonding agent and then triple antibiotic paste was placed. Why? So that discoloration can be eliminated. But it was seen that discoloration totally was not eliminated at that time. Only the discoloration was slightly reduced. So better is that you replace it and do it with cefaclor over here. So plus if you are doing a certain cases, then there are chances for the case to get failed also. So why? Because in certain cases there can be the calcification of a canal which can be seen. Plus there are the chances that the dentine does not grow over here and increases your root length. So all these cases may lead to the failure of this regenerative endodontic therapy. Plus there are various components of the regenerative endodontic therapy also. So there are various cells which is present in these regenerative endodontic therapy. These are the type of cell I have mentioned it over here. So this is basically the scaffold cells of apical papilla. Then we have dental papilla cell, we have periodontal ligament cell, then we have bone morphogenic cells over here, bone marrow cells, then we have the exfoliated human deciduous tooth cells over here, and then we have salivary gland cell, dental follicle cell over here, and tooth germ progenitor cells. So these cells also initiate the regenerative endodontic, but this was all the clinical procedure that you have to do and when you are thinking to go for regenerative endodontic in your cases. So this was all about regenerative endodontic. If you have any problem, you can just put it down in the comment section, and if you have liked this video, please like, share, and yes, of course, don't forget to subscribe, and plus you can also click the bell icon over there so that you don't miss out any important video of my channel. So I'm signing it off. Bye.